and welcome to this week's YouTube video. Today I'm going to be painting this beautiful ragdoll cat. But before I show you the time-lapse video, I wanted to talk to you about central point of focus and how important it is for your paintings. So the human eye cannot focus on two depths of field at the same time, or on two objects in the same depth of field. This is why you need to be careful with reference photos. Many photos are over-sharpened, over-focused, and when you use these, the result is something that is not particularly realistic, and it's very obvious that you have used a reference photo. So what does this actually mean then? Well, basically, everything in your vision that is peripheral to the focal point will be blurry. So you must paint like this and decide what area in your painting is going to be your focal point. In this painting, I want my viewers to look at the cat's eyes. So in order to achieve this, I have my sharp edges in the following areas. The rest is painted pretty much out of focus with very soft diffused edges. This all helps to direct my viewers to the cat's eyes. Personally, I think that focusing on the eyes in any portrait is probably your best bet when trying to engage another person, as a sense of communication is created between the subject matter and the viewer when you focus on the eyes. So let's start painting then. So for this painting then, I am using the Zorn palette with the additions of two colours. These are cadmium yellow and raw umber. I'm doing a very rough underpainting to start with, but it's not a full underpainting as I don't like my important colours to be too muted. So it's a bit of a hybrid method between underpainting, painting in layers and alla prima. I've sort of taken all the bits that I like from all these processes and merged them together to make something that works for me. I should add that there is a wash of raw sienna and terps on this canvas board before I started. So generally then, where I am dealing with very neutral areas, I am much more likely to start with a very rough underpainting in raw umber and maybe a bit of white. Where I have very saturated areas of colour, I will stay true to those colours and basically start my painting with those colours. I am adding terps to my paint at this stage as I want it very thin and pliable. So when the canvas is covered then, that is really my first layer. I will leave it and then have another look at it the next day. So on the second layer then, I'm going straight into those eyes. I want to get the essence of this painting as quickly as I can, so everything can really grow outwards from those eyes. I'm using yellow ochre and ultramarine deep plus white to varying degrees. And in my light areas of the eyes, I am adding cadmium yellow. So I am shifting between the cool of ultramarine deep plus white and then warming up areas with either yellow ochre light or cad yellow. It is that temperature shift that is making those eyes seem believable. For those dark face areas, I am using a combination of raw umber and black plus cadmium red. As the dark parts of his face move into the lighter areas, I am either adding white to the mix or cadmium red plus yellow ochre light to give me an orange, then I add white. So again, I am basically shifting the temperatures that you are looking at, depending upon what is next to it. So for example, a cool temperature will be next to a warm temperature, and I just keep shifting across the whole painting in this way, adding my reds plus yellows where I want it warm, and adding my blues plus cool greens and blacks where I want it cool. In order to make the cat stand out from its background, you must make it warmer than the background itself. So some areas are just black and white, and in other areas of the background, I have added yellow ochre to warm it up. It really depends upon what area of the cat it is next to. I should probably mention that about halfway through this painting, I swapped my white from titanium white to zinc titanium white. I was finding titanium white was just opaque, even with a little bit of linseed oil in it. It just wasn't giving me the effect I wanted, so I swapped it to a more transparent white, which worked really well for this painting. This painting was done then in 4 sittings in total. I just keep working up the layers until I'm happy with the result. Some areas I like to leave really quite unfinished, and some areas are much more detailed. And that's it. That's the finished painting. But notice how out of focus the painting is generally outside of those eyes. I have achieved this through diffused soft edges and a lack of detail. I am basically trying to mimic how your eye would see this cat. It would not see each strand of hair, and so painting them individually will not give me the result I am after. Be bold, use a big brush and squint. If you can't see it and you are unable to paint it due to the size of your brush, then leave it out. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. I do try and post every week, so please like and subscribe if you can. Please also check out my website, sarahhallidayart.com, for examples of my work and details of online classes that I run. Thank you for watching and see you for the next one.